في كتير طرق وسط الحياة تاهوا فيها ناس، وطرق تبان مفروشة ورد وتنتهي بألم وضيق، لكن الطريق للفرحة وطريق الخلاص عند المسيح. أصل المسيح هو الحياة، هو الطريق 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 الطريق
And we're back. Even with ISIS publishing my photograph and going online chattering, talking about killing me, my wife, and my son, I'm back. You know, this has been going on for a long time. I'm under FBI protection and all kinds of good stuff. But tonight, I want to talk to you about what the skills I learned in Vietnam doing intelligence and counterintelligence. That's a picture of me in 1969 up by Hamburger Hill. I was in the United States Marine Corps, and I was fluent in Vietnamese, and I was very active in intelligence and counter-guerrilla warfare. And this I applied as an older man when they blew up the World Trade Center. And I used that to find many, many terrorist cells in California and all kinds of interesting people. For example, this lady here, Hillary Clinton, yep, she's in a little Arabic Muslim veil there. She threw one of my good friends into prison for a year, completely innocent. He was the guy that made The Innocence of Muslims, a video. She lied, and made up stories. The guy was completely 100% innocent. She threw him into prison for a full year. She's a very dangerous woman. This little girl here, years and years ago, over 20 years ago, she was raped. She was raped, a horrible deal. She was only 12 years old, 41-year-old guy raped her, and Hillary Clinton defended the rapist, that's okay. But after the trial, and Hillary admitted she knew the guy was guilty, she laughed because she got him off in a technicality. That's the kind of person Hillary Clinton is. I know she turned the FBI loose on me, on my friend. They threw him in jail. Now, getting back to this connection that we've always talked about here on Wake Up America, and that is the infiltration of the Muslim Brotherhood in California and the United States. This guy right here, his name is Hussam R. Ayloush. Many of you have seen this. This is from his Facebook page, which he took down a couple of years ago because I found this serendipitously on his Facebook. The four fingers means he's a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. This symbol up here means that he supports ISIS, the Muslim Brotherhood, okay? Now, we're going to draw this back into Hillary Clinton and what she does. And here we have Huma Abedin, this lady on top. You'll see the Muslim Brotherhood logo here. At the bottom of that Muslim Brotherhood logo here. You got Hillary Clinton over here. Huma Abedin is an executive with the Muslim Student Association, UCLA, USC, Cal State Los Angeles, San Diego State, Cal State Fullerton. The Muslim Student Association is Muslim Brotherhood, and on their logo at the bottom in the Arabic is from the Quran, and what it means is to terrorize and wage war on the infidels. Very, very interesting. So now here you have Huma Abedin, a key player for the whole entire United States, and you have this guy operating out of Anaheim, lives in Corona, and he goes to the big mosque in Corona. And remember that the San Bernardino massacre was linked back to that Corona mosque. Hillary Clinton, this is the chief of staff of Hillary Clinton, and many people believe that if Hillary Clinton gets elected, yep, the old Muslim Hillary Clinton. I'm being facetious, of course, but again, I'm telling the truth too. Huma Abedin will be the chief of staff for Hillary Clinton, and of course, it is Hillary Clinton down here. Should she become president, she wants to bring in many, many more of the ISIS-infiltrated immigrants that you've seen all the troubles in Europe. Now, so here we've got these connections, but it doesn't just stop with Hillary Clinton. Nope, it goes, this is Michael Downing of the LAPD. He's a counterterrorism commander for the LAPD. And this guy here is Muslim Brotherhood, Salam al-Mariyati. So you've got players now operating. You've got Huma Abedin, and you've got Hillary Clinton. You've got Hussam R. Ayloush, who's a key player of Council on American Islamic Relations, which is Muslim Brotherhood. And in a number of countries, Council on American Islamic Relations has been declared illegal. You got the counterterrorism commander who loves the Muslim Brotherhood, the Ikhwan Muslimin, and operating with the Muslim Brotherhood. Good part of teaching is to repeat and repeat and repeat. Here you got Huma Abedin again, Hillary Clinton, Muslim Brotherhood, Muslim Brotherhood. Muslim Brotherhood logo is centered on the Quran, chapter 8, verse 60, to wage war and terrorize the infidel. I went to this guy's mosque in San Diego. He coordinated the World Trade Center, all of the guys that flew into the World Trade Center back in 9/11/2001, out of San Diego, operating with Saudi Arabians, you know, the 28 pages that were covered up, Anwar al-Awlaki on Saranac Street in San Diego. I went to that mosque in 2002. He was gone, but all his people were there. And I'm going to tell you right now, what I saw was ISIS, I saw terrorism, I saw Al-Qaeda, I saw Boko Haram, I saw Taliban, I saw all of the Muslim guys at this guy's mosque way back in 2002. So after I was swarmed by the media after the Benghazi affair back in 2012, they said to me, come on, do you really believe there's terror cells in California, in the United States? And this is the guy I was talking about. And his mosque is linked in with all of the mosques that are funded by Saudi Arabia. That would be Corona, Garden Grove, Los Angeles, Riverside, Ventura, San Francisco, San Bernardino, La Mesa, El Cajon, you name it, this guy is involved with it. Muslim Brotherhood, we killed him a couple of years ago, and he was exercising his First Amendment. He was born and raised in the United States. He was exercising his First Amendment religious belief. What was his First Amendment religious belief? Well, it's not covered in the First Amendment, and that's why we killed him for doing jihad, murdering people. Again, we come back to Huma Abedin, Chief of Staff for Hillary Clinton, Muslim Brotherhood, to terrorize and wage war on the infidel, to terrorize and wage war on the infidel. Here's the Muslim Brotherhood logo, larger down here in the Arabic. That means Surah 860, to terrorize and wage war against the infidel. Who are we talking about? The connections go right back to Hillary Clinton. Now, 20% of the Clinton Foundation money comes from the Saudi Arabians. The Saudi Arabians are the biggest funder globally of terrorism. It's not Iran. Even if you listen to Fox News or CNN, Iran is a very small player. Saudi Arabia is 1,000 times financially bigger than Iran, and they've been funding terrorism all around the world since the Yom Kippur War of 1973. Oh, Hillary is deeply involved, as we know from her emails with the Saudi Arabians, with Hawala, which is how they fund terrorism all around the world, and the money comes back to Qatar and Saudi Arabia, and they fund it again. Again, we're going to repeat. Here we have Huma Abedin, known member, executive of the Muslim Brotherhood for the United States of America, Chief of Staff for Hillary Clinton. You're starting to get the picture, aren't you now? That there's deep ties between the Muslim Brotherhood and Hillary Clinton. Huma Abedin is Muslim Brotherhood. Her mom and dad were both members of the Muslim Sisterhood and the Muslim Brotherhood. Very dangerous people because they're all linked together. The Ummah, which is the body of believers for the Muslims globally, the 1.5 billion Muslims globally. In Christianity, we call it the church, the body of believers. In Islam, they call it the Ummah, the body of believers. If you think of the 1.5 billion Muslims globally, they're in almost every country of the world. They probably are in every country of the world. We know they're in all 50 states of the United States, Canada, and Mexico. But if you think of them as a giant spider web interlocked together with the different spider webs linked together, so you got ISIS, Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, Boko Haram, Abu Sayyaf, the Amirs of the Caucasus, you got the Uyghurs in China, you got them in the Philippines, you got them in South Korea, you got them all over the world. And just like if you pull one thread of that spider web, then the whole Ummah, the whole body of believers works together to support, to finance, to aid and abet, to hide, and to get supplies, suicide bomb making material and things of that nature. And so they're all interlocked and going together. Now, when I was in Vietnam, and that's why I started off with that photograph of me in Vietnam, that was my specialty. I was taking on the men taught by Mao Zedong and Ho Chi Minh, and as Mao Zedong said, it takes 100 families or 400 people to support one terrorist. So if you come back with that lame excuse, oh, but it's only a minority, well, folks, you know, in rat poison, it's just a minority, 5% of rat poison, just a very little bit, 5% of rat poison. 5% is poison and 95% is food. Now, it's interesting. If you have 5% of the population who are Christians, then they believe in Jesus, they believe in the 10 Commandments, they believe in do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. They believe in fairness and equity and the golden rule. That 5% goes a long way, salt and light, it's called in the Bible, to having a tranquil effect on a savage's. Malum in se is the Latin term for evil exists. And we all know, even as little children, we know the bullies in the sandlot. Evil exists. Malum in se. We know that. So 5% of a community, if they're Christians adhering to the golden rule to do unto others as you would have done unto yourself, or the two great commandments, to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and similar to that, to love your neighbor as yourself, upon this rests all the law and prophets. That 5% causes the highest degree of peace, order, liberty, and prosperity. But if you have 5% who are Muslims, and in those Muslims, you're going to have somewhere between 5% and 75% are there to do just the opposite. Malum and say, Muhammad was a crazy man, a wild man. It says that in Genesis 16, 11, and 12. It says his hand would be against every man. That means at war with every man. That's a prophecy way back 6,000 years, well, 4,000 years ago in Genesis 16, 11, and 12. The stuff is all tied together. The Ummah is the body of believers. They're all networked together like giant interlocking spider webs. And if you go to the spider web in Saudi Arabia and you pull it, it'll move in America or in the Philippines. And if you go to the spider web in South Korea, where there's a lot of these dangerous Ikhwan Muslimin, Muslim Brotherhood, and you pull it, it'll go to Canada. And all of these things are interacted together. And Hillary Clinton, it's been proven now through Assange, Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, through the emails, the 20% of Saudi Arabian money going to the Clinton Foundation, and then that's how they blew up my own son. My own son was suicide bombed. He was shot up December 20th in 2007. Praise God, because he listened to me, he was able to survive being blown up. We don't know how. He was all mangled up, multiple operations in his ears, but they funded that suicide bomber who blew up my son in Iraq. And I told my son, if the Muslims in Iraq ever ask you, are you high rank or low rank, they're coming to suicide bomb you, because Saudi Arabia, they pay bounties out to the surviving family of the suicide bomber based on the rank of the person that was blown up. As soon as my son heard that, he knew he was going to be suicide bombed. And even though his officers opposed him, he organized everybody, and only one soldier, sadly, an officer, was killed. So back again, good teaching is to repeat, repeat, repeat. Here we got Hillary Clinton, Muslim Brotherhood logo to terrorize and wage war on the infidel. Huma Abedin, Huma Abedin. So if you vote for Hillary Clinton, you're actually voting for Huma Abedin. Huma Abedin, Muslim Brotherhood, and Hillary both are demanding that we bring more of the ISIS-infiltrated people into the United States. That same guy that I showed you with the 4 fingers earlier before, Husam Ilush, and here he is with a known Muslim Brotherhood standing in front of a sign, the Los Angeles Times. And this guy here, his name is Yusuf al-Qaradawi, big-time intellectual Muslim Brotherhood. He admits, now this is interesting, you got to think it through. He says, I am no longer a Muslim Brotherhood. Well, that means he admits he was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, and he is networked through the Huma, just as this Muslim Brotherhood guy is hooked up to all of the Huma throughout the United States. You're going to get tired of seeing this picture, but we got to see it again. There's Huma Abedin again. There we got the Muslim Brotherhood. There we got the Muslim Brotherhood. All based on the Quran. 22 verses in the Quran tell ISIS, Muslim Brotherhood, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, Taliban to do what Muhammad did. If you see ISIS and Taliban, Boko Haram, what they do is exactly what is taught in Islam in the mosques that are run by Saudi Arabia. We have tons of documentation. James Woolsey, former CIA director, through Freedom Foundation, did a publication years ago called Saudi Hate-Filled Ideology Infiltrates the Saudi Arabian Mosque in the United States. Well, it's almost accurate because it didn't infiltrate it because it was already there. Because every mosque in the United States funded by the Saudi Arabians, over 2,400 in America, they all adhere to the Muslim Brotherhood to terrorize and wage war. And we got Hillary Clinton. There's 4 words in Arabic you need to be aware of. The first one is lying, or taqiyya. Taqiyya is defined as dissimulation about one's Muslim identity. So if somebody says, are you a Muslim Brotherhood? Then you immediately say no. Mina, can you show clip number 1? Now we're going to show how this guy is Muslim Brotherhood and he lies about the Muslim Brotherhood being in America. You got it?
Have any answer to ask other than enjoying
Beautiful weather, right?
Beautiful. Are you enjoying beautiful weather?
No.
Aren't you
Look,
loving the cherry blossom?
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Do you have that in Florida?
Yes.
You do?
No cherry blossom.
No, we don't have it in
We got
LA
beautiful,
either.
but you got beautiful vegetation.
We got beautiful weather there, beautiful
Is there a
beaches.
Muslim Brotherhood
And there
in
was
the
an
United
earthquake.
States?
I heard when I left
Where?
in LA. Yeah.
So you left and it happened.
And it's
Can you watch my dad right there, please?
What is he doing there?
Oh, he argues pretty effectively for Palestine.
Oh, what is he
He's just a
stand for?
guy,
What
a
is his
street guy,
position?
just a street guy. But he's pretty.
Don't you love the freedom that we have here?
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
He
Do you
argues,
have that in Florida?
He argues your argument better than some of you guys do.
I don't argue.
He's a little wacky, but he's got some cogent arguments. But back to whether or not there's a Muslim Brotherhood in the United States. Do you think so?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
Well, I'm asking you.
I have nothing to do with them.
CARE has been identified by the Department of Justice right down the street as an affiliate of the Muslim Brotherhood. You're a leader of CARE in Los Angeles.
There he is right there. That's the guy you just watched. He asked him a couple times, is there Muslim Brotherhood in the United States? He said, no. Is there Muslim Brotherhood in the United States? No. Is there Muslim Brotherhood in the United States? Ladies and gentlemen, he is... There's his symbol right there. I am Muslim Brotherhood. This is from his Facebook, and this means he supports al-Nusra ISIS. Okay, so that's taqiyya. Taqiyya is the Arabic dissimulation about one's Muslim identity. You lie. Tawriya. Tawriya is defined as concealing, and it could be called creative lying. Say, oh, no, there's no Muslim Brotherhood in the United States. John Doe in Pakistan, he's Muslim Brotherhood. That's taqiyya, to lie outright, dissimulation. Tawriya is called creative lying. Then there's a word called kitman in Arabic. Kitman is characterized by someone telling only part of the truth. Oh, there's no Muslim Brotherhood here. They're over there. There's no Muslim Brotherhood here in the United States. And muruna means using flexibility to blend in with the enemy or surroundings, which is exactly what the Muslim Brotherhood is doing in the United States. Let me give you another example. Now that guy that we just showed here, he's from Corona and his office is in Anaheim, not far from Disneyland. This guy here is big-time Muslim Brotherhood. I've met him several times. His name is Musamil Siddiqui. He was past president of the Islamic Society of North America. He's big-time Muslim Brotherhood. I've met him face-to-face 3 times. I met this guy face to face once years ago when I told the truth about him and his group in Anaheim. Very interesting. So then we come back again. These guys are all related to Huma Abedin, Muslim Brotherhood. We got the Muslim Brotherhood, the Four Fingers, and he supports ISIS. We've got this guy, Muslim Brotherhood, and he supports ISIS also. Okay, so we got all that stuff. All right, let's go to clip number 3. Clip number 3.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. I'm deeply regretful that I cannot be with you this evening. As you listen to my message, I'm either in Qatar, Abu Dhabi, or Egypt, meeting with my Arab law enforcement colleagues. We are working on strategies of cooperation, public safety, and education on a worldwide basis. I want to thank CARE for the friendship that has been extended to me and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Executive Director Hussam Alouche and the staff are exceptional representatives of the Muslim community of America.
He just thanked the Muslim Brotherhood. No wonder Sheriff Baca was indicted. No wonder he had to leave in shame from the LA sheriffs. I've known about him. I've led multiple demonstrations about Sheriff Baca and this guy. I've been to his daughter's high school a bunch of times, passed out flyers telling the truth. You know, in the United States, in the First Amendment, the truth is defense. If you have proof, evidence, and facts, this is from his Facebook page. This is from he's admitting. He admitted that he's a member of the Muslim Brotherhood and he supports ISIS. I didn't say that. He did it. So I'm using the First Amendment. Now, the First Amendment does not protect lying. It does not protect those 4 words of taqiyya, kitman, tariya, and muruna. It does not. You're supposed to get up there and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, so this guy is very interesting. He's all linked together with all those Muslim Brotherhood people. And we're back to little old Hillary Clinton. You vote for Hillary Clinton, and she's going to bring in a whole bunch of those ISIS-infiltrated people coming. You've seen it already. If you just Google the Muslim immigrants coming to Europe and raping, murdering. We had a little 5-year-old girl in Idaho who was raped about 6 months ago, and Hillary and her people hushed it up. This poor little girl was raped when she was 12 years old. Hillary Clinton defended the guy that raped her. Hillary knew he was guilty, and then she laughed when interviewed about it. Very dangerous person, Hillary Clinton. Very dangerous. She does not appreciate the Bill of Rights. Hillary Clinton, that's her laughing at the little girl. Here we have, very interesting enough, we got old crazy Yasser Arafat, and there's Hillary here, and there's Chelsea and Bill. You see, this whole issue is the death knell of every republic. Political Science 101. The death knell of every republic is foreign money, accepting foreign money, accepting bribes. Hillary Clinton Foundation, Bill Clinton, Chelsea Clinton, they've accepted bribes. Chelsea Clinton got $600,000 a year with no experience to go for one of the major news outlets. That's a bribe. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton have been bribed multiple times. It's all over the news. It's all been documented. Julian Assange, praise God, has done a great job on the WikiLeaks. I am very happy that he did that. This is really, well, we're going to bypass this one. That'll muddy the waters. Now there's Hillary Clinton all dressed up like a Muslim. Now this is Obama's chief of staff, Valerie Jarrett. She's a Muslim from Iran, and that's probably why Iran's getting all the favorable treatment, and we did payola, what do we do? You called we bought off the ransom for the guys there over in Iran. And of course we got Obama. Here we have Hillary Clinton. Now this is Prince Turki, and this other character guy from Saudi Arabia have given hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Clinton Foundation. It's pay for play. So again, the stuff that Trump is talking about, it's all been proven with proof, evidence, and facts. If you saw the vice president debate and you saw the Democratic candidate interrupt 72 times, interrupt, it's too much altercation and the truth is lost. It's called nimium altercando veritas amitatur. By too much altercation, truth is destroyed, and that's exactly what their whole plan is. We've only got 2 more photographs to go through here. Here we have the guy from Garden Grove, Musamil Siddiqui. Again, I've met him 3 times face to face. He readily admitted that he works hand in hand, face to face with the King of Saudi Arabia, who funds terrorism all over the world. He brought in another guy who was even more dangerous, a guy named Ahmad Sakar, who brought the Muslim Brotherhood into the United States. Very dangerous. And the last one, and we'll be all done and on our way. There's the King of Saudi Arabia here, and there's Musamil Siddiqui, the guy I just showed you from Garden Grove. There he is face to face with the king. So ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of you have different feelings and stuff, and I know that God has given us Romans 13:4. The magistrate of God is the minister of God, and he's given us a bifurcation, a split. He's given us a separation of church and state. However, the authority of the church and state comes from Yahweh, Yeshua, the triune God of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. And through God, the triune God, through the 10 Commandments, which is all documented and found in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 10, it's called the Law of Nations, which was exposed by Hugo Grotius, the father of international law, who stated that international law was based on the 10 Commandments and was further reinforced by a guy named Berle-McQueen and Pufendorf, and was the basis of the Nuremberg trials, the Law of Nations, Hugo Grotius, the 10 Commandments, as put forward by our Supreme Court Justice, who was chief counsel in Nuremberg. And that was only back in 1946. That's not that long ago. This is very interesting stuff. So if you understand how to follow common law and the roots and origins of common law through the Law of Nations and back to the Bible, then you see all of a sudden there is proof in the Constitution of the United States that the Constitution indeed was based on the 10 Commandments and the Bible. It's also found in the Declaration of Independence too, when it talks about the supreme judge of the world. The supreme judge of the world is none other than Jesus. So Romans 13:4, I'll have 1 more show, 2 more shows before the election, and I want you to think long and hard, because this woman, Hillary Clinton, she does not like the First Amendment. She threw my friend into prison. She sent the FBI to my house, to my office. I had to meet with them, had to be reinterrogated by them. Fortunately, I have nothing on my record, so they couldn't make up lies about me and throw me into prison. I was completely innocent. They made up all kinds of lies and threw an innocent man 10,000 miles away, having absolutely nothing at all to do with Benghazi, had nothing at all to do with that, nothing. But she made up lies. But in the providence of God, because she lied, the media came after myself for days and days and days, and as we talked with the FBI, and they shook their head. We believe she gave us $7 billion out of that silly video so that we could show the Muslim world what a fraud Muhammad was. I'll close on this note. Mina, you ready? Oh, Muhammad, Allah Akbar, you beat the girls all black and blue. You're a wild man, such a madman. Oh, Muhammad, it is true. In a cavern without Khadijah, drinking camel pee, you know, dwelt Muhammad, dreadful prophet, and his silly old burro. ISIS, you published my picture to be killed, but you will never touch me until Jesus Christ says I can be touched. Ha 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 ha! I laugh at ISIS. Good night.
في كتير طرق وسط الحياة تاهوا فيها ناس، وطرق تبان مفروشة ورد وتنتهي بألم وضيق، لكن الطريق أصل المسيح